The LPGA tour had Caitlin Clark play, and the LPGA, fans, well, the event was taken over by the ominous crowd that made sure to go.
It started as a simple idea. A basketball superstar crossing into golf for one special event. But no one, not even Caitlin Clark herself, expected what came next. The moment her name was announced at the LPGA Pro-Am, the crowd erupted. Fans didn't just cheer, they roared. From the fairways to the stands, the atmosphere felt different that day. There was a pulse, a sense that something new was happening in women's sports. But while the LPGA was celebrating, another league was quietly fuming because Caitlin Clark, the young woman who has redefined college basketball and injected new life into the WNBA, had just crossed a line. And not everyone was happy about it. It all began when the LPGA extended an invitation to Caitlin Clark to participate in a special celebrity golf event. To most people, it seemed harmless, a fun crossover, a chance for one of sports' biggest names to bring fresh eyes to women's golf. But what the LPGA didn't expect was just how powerful that name had become. Tickets sold fast. Broadcast networks scrambled to cover the event. And when the day came, it wasn't just golf fans who showed up. It was Clark fans, thousands of them. Some had never watched a golf tournament in their lives. Others carried basketball jerseys, posters, even homemade signs that read, "Caitlin for everything." The LPGA had struck gold, and they knew it. They greeted Clark like royalty, understanding that she wasn't just an athlete. She was a movement. Caitlin had single-handedly brought millions of new fans into women's sports, and now she was doing it again. But this time, on the golf course. For years, the LPGA had struggled with visibility. While stars like Nelly Korda and Lexi Thompson had drawn loyal fans, the sport still lived in the shadow of men's golf. But that weekend, something shifted. Every tee shot Clark took drew cheers louder than anything the LPGA had seen in years. When she lined up her first drive, the crowd hushed. Cameras ready, phones up, and the energy was electric. When she hit it straight down the fairway, people screamed like they were courtside at a Final Four game. The LPGA didn't just get an athlete, they got a cultural phenomenon, and the league embraced it fully. Players like Korda praised Clark, calling her a breath of fresh air. Fans online celebrated the crossover, saying, "This is how you grow women's sports." For once, there was unity, energy, excitement. But behind the scenes, another league was watching closely, and not with the same enthusiasm. When word spread that Caitlin Clark's LPGA appearance had gone viral, many assumed the WNBA would celebrate too. After all, she's their star, their rising icon. But instead of applause, there was silence. And in some corners, even tension. Some players within the WNBA reportedly felt that Clark's constant spotlight was overshadowing the league's veterans, women who had built the WNBA long before Clark arrived. Others argued that the media's obsession with her took attention away from broader stories in women's basketball. Soon, that quiet frustration turned into public discourse. Fans noticed subtle digs, side comments, and a tone of defensiveness in interviews. It seemed as if the league that should have been celebrating her was now struggling to figure out how to handle her fame. Why? Because Caitlin Clark had become something no one could control, not even the WNBA. Here's where things get interesting. While the LPGA saw Clark's presence as a blessing, the WNBA saw it as a complication. To the LPGA, she was an ambassador, someone who could bring new audiences, young fans, and national headlines. But to some in the WNBA, she was a threat to the established order. The logic seemed backwards. Wouldn't it make sense to welcome a player who's bringing millions of viewers and dollars into women's sports? Apparently not. the LPGA embraced her instantly, posting her highlights, celebrating her energy, and thanking her for shining a light on women's golf. Meanwhile, in the WNBA, there were murmurs of discontent. Social media buzzed with fans debating whether Clark was being too hyped or over-promoted. Even some broadcasters walked on eggshells, worried that praising Clark too much might draw backlash from certain corners of the league. The result was clear. While the LPGA was busy building bridges, the WNBA was drawing lines. What's tragic here isn't the criticism, it's the missed potential. Caitlin Clark has never once said she's above the WNBA. In fact, she's repeatedly expressed gratitude for the women who paved the way. She's talked about her respect for veterans, her desire to grow the game, and her belief that women's sports deserve more respect in every discipline. But instead of uniting behind that message, the WNBA seems to be dividing itself over it. Imagine what could have happened if the WNBA had embraced Clark's crossover moment with the LPGA. They could have used the buzz to promote upcoming games, highlight partnerships, or showcase other players alongside her. It could have been a shared win, a viral moment that benefited everyone. But instead, the conversation turned into a rivalry, and make no mistake, fans are paying attention. Online discussions are everywhere. Some call out the WNBA for failing to capitalize on Clark's popularity. Others sympathize with veteran players who feel sidelined by the media frenzy. But the broader audience? They just want to see women's sports win. When Caitlin Clark walks into a room, people show up. Not because she's taking attention, but because she creates it. She's the bridge between casual fans and lifelong supporters, between basketball and golf, between what women's sports are and what they could become. The LPGA understood that. The WNBA, however, seems to be missing it. The contrast couldn't be clearer. At the LPGA event, Clark was surrounded by positivity. Smiling fans, cheering crowds, welcoming players. When Nelly Korda spoke about her, she said, "It's great to see someone bring new eyes to our game. We need more of that." In that single sentence, she captured what the WNBA is struggling with: openness. The LPGA isn't afraid of new fans, even if they're not traditional golf viewers. They're thrilled that people care, period. Every cheer for Clark was also a cheer for golf itself. The WNBA, meanwhile, appears cautious. Maybe too cautious. Instead of leveraging Clark's momentum to lift everyone, parts of the league have chosen to guard their space, fearing her fame might eclipse their history. But here's the reality. History doesn't get erased when someone new shines. It grows richer. The WNBA's hesitation could cost them. Modern sports thrive on personality, crossover appeal, and shared storytelling. Fans want leagues that collaborate, not compete. They want to see unity, not internal tension. By keeping Clark at arm's length, the WNBA risks alienating not just her fans, but its own. Sports today are driven by connection. People follow stories more than stats. And Caitlin Clark's story, from college dominance to national fame to crossover icon, is one of the most powerful in recent memory. If the WNBA doesn't ride that wave, someone else will, and that's exactly what the LPGA did. Part of what makes Caitlin Clark so magnetic is her authenticity. She doesn't fake humility, she doesn't chase headlines, and she doesn't stir up drama for attention. She simply shows up, competes with fire, smiles with sincerity, and wins people over one play at a time. Fans feel connected to her because she's real. And in a sports world overflowing with polished PR personas, that kind of honesty stands out. Her presence bridges generations. Parents admire her work ethic, kids look up to her confidence, and athletes in every sport see her as proof that genuine talent and authenticity can coexist. She's not just inspiring future basketball players, she's motivating young girls who dream of being seen, heard, and celebrated in their own fields. Whether it's soccer, tennis, or golf, they see in Caitlin a reflection of possibility, a reminder that grace and dominance can share the same spotlight. That's the kind of influence no marketing campaign can buy, no slogan can replicate. It's earned through character, not choreography. And that's why the LPGA's move was pure genius. They didn't see Caitlin Clark as competition. They saw her as collaboration, a chance to grow together, elevate each other, and show the world what women's sports can truly become when unity replaces ego. This isn't just about one athlete or two leagues. It's about how women's sports move forward from here. Whether they choose unity or division, progress or hesitation. For decades, women's leagues have fought uphill battles for recognition, equal pay, sponsorships, and media attention. Every victory was earned the hard way. Every headline a step forward in a fight that was never fair to begin with. But now, for the first time in history, there's real momentum. Stars like Caitlin Clark are changing the landscape, pulling in millions of new viewers and bringing energy that transcends the game itself. She's not just inspiring basketball fans. She's drawing in families, kids, and casual sports fans who are finally paying attention. The question is, will the leagues embrace that wave or resist it? The LPGA said yes. The WNBA, it seems, said maybe. But hesitation can be dangerous. Because every time a league resists collaboration, it risks pushing fans away. Audiences today crave connection and unity, not rivalry within the same cause. Fans don't want to see gatekeeping. They want to see growth, shared celebrations, and women uplifting women. If the LPGA and WNBA had joined forces, imagine what could have been. Crossover events, charity games, shared media campaigns, and a united front that could redefine women's athletics forever. Instead, we're watching a divide unfold in real time, one that could either heal or deepen depending on the choices made next. Perfect feedback save. Prompt your prompts ChatGPT can make mistakes. The LPGA's success with Caitlin Clark wasn't just luck, it was strategy. They recognized the value of collaboration. They saw that modern sports fans don't stay in one lane anymore. They follow stories, personalities, and moments that inspire them no matter the sport. By welcoming Clark, the LPGA didn't dilute its brand. They elevated it. They showed that unity doesn't threaten tradition. It strengthens it. Their message was clear and powerful. Women's sports are stronger together. The event proved that when you combine audiences instead of dividing them, everyone wins. The athletes, the leagues, and most importantly, the fans. The LPGA gained exposure, the players gained recognition, and Caitlin gained another platform to showcase her impact beyond basketball. The WNBA, meanwhile, could take a page from that playbook. Because in the long run, no league survives by guarding the spotlight. It survives by sharing it. True growth comes when walls are broken down, not when they're reinforced. Collaboration doesn't take away from anyone's success. It multiplies it. The LPGA saw that. The question now is, will the WNBA realize it before it's too late? Caitlin Clark's impact isn't slowing down anytime soon. Her influence continues to grow, crossing boundaries that used to separate sports, audiences, and cultures. She's not just redefining what it means to be a women's basketball player, she's becoming a cultural force, someone who can sell out arenas, lift TV ratings, and inspire a generation of young athletes who finally believe they can do it all. The LPGA saw the future and embraced it. They understood that Caitlin isn't just an athlete, she's a movement, a spark that brings attention, energy, and new fans wherever she goes. By inviting her, the LPGA didn't just host a guest, they opened a door to millions who might never have watched women's golf before. For one weekend, They turned fairways into arenas and created something magical. The WNBA, on the other hand, saw uncertainty and hesitated. Maybe they feared she was too big, too fast, too different. Maybe they weren't ready for the wave she was bringing. But time will tell which approach works best. Because as the world of sports evolves, one truth becomes clear. Collaboration breeds success, and resistance only breeds regret. Those who adapt will grow. Those who gatekeep will fade. Caitlin Clark has already proven one thing. The game changes for those brave enough to let it. Caitlin Clark has done something remarkable. She's made people care about women's sports in ways they haven't before. Her crossover appeal has brought attention, sponsorships, and fans who might never have tuned in otherwise. The LPGA celebrated her, and they reaped the rewards. The WNBA hesitated, and they may be missing their moment. But the story isn't over yet. As Clark continues to shine, leagues will have to decide. Will they fight for the spotlight or share it? Because in the end, this isn't just about golf or basketball. It's about the future of women's sports as a united force. And if there's one thing Caitlin Clark has proven, it's that unity always wins. What do you think? Is the WNBA making a mistake or just protecting its legacy? Share your thoughts below. And if you believe women's sports deserve more unity and spotlight, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories that dig deep into the world of sports, culture, and the athletes shaping history.
Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into Hollywood's hidden history.